Imagine spending 40 years building a legacy. You buy the family home. You max out your retirement accounts. You watch your children graduate, get married, and start families of their own. You've done everything right. And to protect it all, you spend $3,000 on a comprehensive estate plan, centered around the Revocable Living Trust. You are told explicitly that this document protects your assets. It keeps the government out of your business. It ensures your family is taken care of. You go to sleep at night with a profound sense of security. But then, the inevitable happens. A stroke. A diagnosis of early-onset dementia. A sudden, catastrophic fall. Suddenly, the care you need cannot be provided at home. You require long-term, skilled nursing care. And when the bill arrives, $10, $12, maybe $15,000 a month, you turn to your trust, expecting it to shield your life savings. Instead, you are handed a devastating piece of paper. It's a Medicaid application denial, or worse, a mandate that you must spend down every single dime you own until you are officially impoverished. The trust you paid for, the one you were told was your fortress, is completely, utterly useless. Why? How can the most popular estate planning tool in America fail exactly when you need it most? The answer lies in a single deceptive word, hidden in the title of the document itself. And by the end of this video, you will understand how the system is designed to exploit your false sense of security. To understand this trap, we must look at the mechanics of the financial and legal systems that govern elder care. At the heart of this story are three entities. First, the well-meaning family. They want to avoid probate. Second, the estate planning mill. These law firms sell standardized trusts using words like ironclad and protected. And third, the Medicaid system. Medicaid is not Medicare. It is strictly a welfare program for the indigent. The very feature that makes a revocable trust so appealing is the exact reason it offers zero protection against nursing home costs. That feature is control. Because the trust is revocable, you can take the money out at any time. If you can access the money to buy a boat, Medicaid assumes you can access that money to pay for your nursing home. But how did we get here? How did a tool designed for one specific purpose become marketed as a universal shield? To find out, we have to trace the chronological cause and effect of this financial trap. Part 1. The origins. The story of the Revocable Living Trust begins not in a nursing home, but in the probate courts of the mid-20th century. Historically, when someone died, their assets were frozen. The family had to go through probate, a public, often adversarial court process, where creditors could make claims, and lawyers took a percentage of the estate based on its total value. For the ultra-wealthy, this was unacceptable. They began using revocable trusts as a mechanism to bypass probate entirely. By placing assets into a trust during their lifetime, those assets technically belonged to the trust, not the individual. Upon death, the assets passed privately to the beneficiaries, avoiding the courts, avoiding public record, and avoiding probate fees. For decades, this was a niche tool. Estate planning attorneys were clear about its limitations. A revocable trust avoids probate. Period. It does not protect assets from your own creditors while you are alive, and it does not shield you from long-term care costs. But then, the demographic and economic landscape shifted. Part 2. The rise. Fast forward to the 1990s and 2000s. The baby boomer generation began accumulating significant wealth, primarily in the form of home equity and retirement accounts. Simultaneously, the cost of long-term care began its relentless exponential climb. Enter the estate planning mill. High-volume firms and financial marketers began hosting free dinner seminars in hotel ballrooms across America. The pitch was seductive in its simplicity. For one low flat fee, we will set up a trust that will protect your home and savings. Notice the subtle linguistic shift. They didn't say protects your assets from probate. They used the ambiguous, emotionally comforting word, protect. Psychologically, this was brilliant. The word revocable implies safety. It tells the client, you are still in control, you can change your mind. But in the eyes of the law, and specifically in the eyes of Medicaid, Control equals liability. Millions of families bought into this narrative. They signed the documents and funded the trusts believing they had built an impenetrable fortress. They didn't know that the foundation of that fortress was made of sand. Part 3. The breaking point. Every trap has a trigger. For the Revocable Trust, the trigger is a medical crisis. It usually starts subtly. A parent forgets to pay a bill. Then, a minor fall results in a hip fracture. Suddenly, they are discharged from the hospital not to their home, but to a skilled nursing facility for rehab. Medicare pays for the first 20 days of this rehab in full. Days 21 through 100 require a steep daily copay. But what happens on day 101? Or what happens if the diagnosis is Alzheimer's? Medicare coverage ends. The family is now facing the raw, unfiltered cost of long-term care. In many states, this is upwards of $15,000 per month. The family's income, Social Security, a small pension, is nowhere near enough to cover this. They naturally turn to Medicaid, the program designed to pay for this exact scenario. They sit down with a Medicaid planner or a hospital social worker. They fill out the application and proudly disclose their assets, including the Revocable Living Trust, assuming it is protected. This is the moment the trap snaps shut. The Medicaid caseworker reviews the application and applies the countable assets test. Because the trust is revocable, the house, the bank accounts, and the investments inside it are counted as the applicant's personal property. Medicaid has a strict asset limit, often as low as $2,000 for an individual. The family is told they have two choices: pay out of pocket at the private astronomical rate, or spend down their assets. They must spend down until they hit that $2,000 limit. Part 4. The fallout. The fallout of this realization is catastrophic, and it is not just financial. It is deeply, profoundly emotional. The spend-down process forces families to liquidate the very assets they spent decades building. The family home, which was supposed to be the inheritance for the children, must be sold to pay the nursing home. But it gets worse. Because the parent is in a facility, the remaining spouse is often left in a state of financial peril. The children, who were promised a legacy, are now forced to become the liquidators of their parents' lives. They watch their parents' life savings evaporate, not to fund a vibrant retirement, but to pay institutional fees. And the deepest cut? The betrayal. The family realizes that the advisor who sold them the trust didn't understand the nuances of Medicaid law, or worse, knew it wouldn't protect against costs but sold it anyway because it was easier, faster, and highly profitable. Part 5. The failed fixes. When families realize the trap has sprung, panic sets in. And panic leads to desperate, irrational decisions. The most common failed fix is the last-minute gift. A family decides to quickly deed the family home to the children, thinking, if we don't own it, Medicaid can't take it. This is a fatal error. Medicaid has a look-back period. In most states, as of 2026, this period is exactly 60 months, or 5 years. Medicaid will scrutinize every single financial transaction. If they see you gave away assets for less than fair market value, they do not just deny you. They impose a penalty period. If you gift a $300,000 house and the monthly nursing home cost is $10,000, Medicaid calculates a penalty period of 30 months. For 30 months, Medicaid will refuse to pay a single dime for your care. You are trapped. You no longer own the house to sell it, and the state will not help you. You are in a financial purgatory. All because of a panicked, poorly timed attempt to fix a broken system. Other failed fixes include relying on generic, AI-generated or online DIY legal forms that claim to offer Medicaid protection. These documents are routinely rejected by state agencies, leading to months of delayed care and massive legal fees to untangle the mess. Now let's connect this historical pattern to our current reality. As we sit here in 2026, the dynamics of this trap have accelerated. First, look at the data. The silver tsunami is no longer a prediction. It is our present reality. The oldest baby boomers are now in their late 70s and 80s, the exact demographic most vulnerable to long-term care needs. Second, inflation and healthcare cost escalation have made the trap deadlier. In 2026, the national average cost of a semi-private nursing home room has breached $11,000 per month. With private rooms exceeding $15,000, a 3-year stay can obliterate a $1 million portfolio. The spend down is happening faster than ever before. Third, we see the rise of automated DIY legal tech. Algorithms generate revocable living trusts in minutes for under $100. These platforms optimize for keywords like avoid probate but omit complex, state-specific warnings. They sell the illusion of safety. The nursing home industry and state Medicaid systems absorb the wealth of the middle class, while families wonder how it went wrong. So how do we break this cycle? How do you ensure that the legacy you built is not consumed by the nursing home trap? Takeaway number 1. Revocable means no asset protection. If you can revoke it, Medicaid can count it. Takeaway number 2. The 5-year rule is non-negotiable. Medicaid planning is a long-term strategy, not a last-minute maneuver. The 60-month look-back period means your strategy must be executed at least 5 years before you anticipate needing care. Takeaway number 3. Specialized counsel is mandatory. Estate planning and elder law are two distinct, highly specialized fields. A general practice attorney or a generic online form cannot navigate the intricate, state-specific rules of Medicaid. You need an accredited elder law attorney who understands the intersection of estate planning, tax law, and government benefits. Paying for a specialized consultation today is exponentially cheaper than losing your family home to a nursing home bill tomorrow. I want to leave you with a warning and an open-ended thought to carry with you. It is the quiet, unexamined assumption that you are protected. The legal and healthcare systems are not designed to preserve your middle-class wealth. They are designed to follow the letter of the law. The law demands that you exhaust your own resources before society steps in to help. You have spent your entire life working to build something of value. Do not let a misunderstood legal document become the instrument of its destruction. If this video opened your eyes, share it with your parents, your siblings, or anyone who has a standard estate plan. Drop a comment below. Have you ever encountered the Medicaid spend down? What was your experience? To learn about the Irrevocable Medicaid Asset Protection Trust, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and protect your legacy.